You're watching KWQC TV6 Davenport, the station that cares for you. Live from the Quad Cities' #1 station for news. This is KWQC TV6 Quad Cities Today.
Good morning, and thank you so much for waking up with us here on this special edition of Quad Cities Today.
Good morning, everyone. It is 6:30 right now on your Tuesday morning. We, of course, have a lot to get to this morning as we mark the 1-year anniversary of the devastating building collapse in downtown Davenport. But first, we want to start, as we always do, with weather. And Kevin, today so far looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's going to be a similar forecast as what we saw yesterday. You know, we had plenty of sun this morning, and then you'll have that maybe a couple or 2 or 3 showers and rumbles of thunder here this afternoon. So easy getting out to I-74 and I-80, but you can see a little more traffic here on I-74 at Middle Road, of course, as we head back to the office after your holiday weekend. But looking towards the I-74 bridge, you can notice that the Mississippi is nice and calm. Winds are not a big issue for us here early this morning, but a cold front is going to work through our area, and yes, we'll have that chance for some showers and rumbles of thunder, maybe as early as 1 and 2 o'clock, and they're out of here by 6 and 7. So everything's arriving a couple hours earlier here today, and that's part of the reason why I don't think it'll be quite as warm as yesterday, which in turn was pretty comfortable as we hit the mid-70s. 50 at the moment in Clinton, 55 in Galesburg, 57 Muscatine. So one of these days where, hey, maybe a sweatshirt or light jacket this morning, and you'll be able to shed that pretty quickly as we're back to the mid-60s here under sunny skies at 10. Isolated storms arrive as early as 1 o'clock this afternoon, so we'll time those out for you as well as take a look at the rest of the week and your full first alert forecast.
And we continue our special coverage of the building collapse. Now, many people stepped up to help, including a certain nonprofit who helped the survivors of the building collapse get back on their feet.
TV6's Larry Goodwin is live from the collapse site. And Larry, what can you tell us about this organization that helped out in a big way?
Yeah, guys, well, after the building collapse, the Quad City community stepped up in a big way, including the Quad Cities Community Foundation. Now, they opened up the Quad Cities Disaster Recovery Fund to help those survivors in need. Over $270,000. That's how much people gave to help the survivors of the building collapse. Kelly Thompson, Vice President of Grant Making and Community Initiatives at the Quad Cities Community Foundation, said the dollars given to those involved could be used for whatever they wanted. They could receive it either as a check to a new landlord or simply as cash gift cards.
I think they appreciated that they had that flexibility because they had so many choices to make at that time to rebuild literally everything in their life, new patterns, new place to live. So having that flexibility was very meaningful to people. And the reason we were able to give that flexibility is because of the flexibility that donors gave.
Thompson says they will never forget those involved and that they are here for you if there's anything else you need.
To the people who lived there and the loved ones of the people who lived there who did not survive, just know that your community has not forgotten you. If there are other needs you're experiencing, we hope that you'll reach out. We may not have more dollars to give in this sense, but we always want to be able to connect people with other organizations that can help them.
Thompson said there are still some people that haven't been able to reach. If those people have not received any assistance and are interested, they should call the Community Foundation, and she could put them in touch with the right people to take advantage of those dollars. In Davenport, I'm Larry Goodwin, TV6 News.
All right, Larry, thank you. Now, Thompson says other than the funds left for those who did not receive them, they have all been used.
And coming up tonight on your news at 6, we speak to Iowa Task Force 1 on their response. We'll hear from the first responders who searched the rubble, working to find the 3 men who died in the collapse. Again, that's coming up tonight on our special coverage of the building collapse. Tonight, the community will honor the 3 men who died, as well as the woman whose leg was amputated in the collapse. There's a memorial service at 3rd Missionary Baptist Church at 5 p.m. Afterwards, the community will meet at the collapse site for a prayer vigil at 6:30. Also tonight, there's a candlelight vigil at the site of the collapsed building. The event will honor the 3 men who died and the survivors of the collapse. That event starts at 7 p.m.
All right, 6:35 here on your Tuesday morning. I can't rule out a couple of strong or severe storms here today. Areas north and east of the Quad Cities most favored, but the coverage of these is going to be quite sparse in comparison to even what we saw yesterday, which wasn't overly widespread. So mid-60s here by 10. We'll hang out in the low 70s through most of the afternoon. Storm chances really kind of pick up between 1 and about 6 this evening, and then we clear our skies here tonight, and we're down to the 40s and 50s here tomorrow morning. So we'll have more on the rest of the week. That includes a couple of more storm chances coming up in your first alert forecast.
All right, well, let's get another check of our local traffic conditions. We are taking a live look at I-80 at Northwest Boulevard, and you can see everything looks good out there this morning. Traffic is moving smoothly. And as we go to break right now, we want to make sure we thank all of our first responders who risked their lives to evacuate all the survivors of the building collapse and those who searched through the rubble to find the victims.